Hey, how's it going, everybody? Harrison George here with the Harrison George team. So we're going to walk you through the next video, which is going to be based off of a refinance on a home that you've purchased perhaps a couple of years ago. Again, you're going to go to the allinoneloan.com website, and you're just going to go to the calculate savings button up in the top right corner, and we're just going to walk you through it. Again, so once you get onto this page, you're just going to click the drop down and you're going to click start a new simulation. We're going to click go. We're going to click the drop down again, and we're going to click a rate and term refinance. Obviously, if you plan on pulling cash out, we can certainly run through that, but we're just going to start with a rate and term refinance. So if an individual is going to be doing this on their primary residence, you're just going to click the drop down on primary residence. We're going to compare this to my current loan. And we're going to compare this to somebody that perhaps bought their home back in 2020 or 2021, where interest rates were much more attractive than where rates are today, and obviously a much lower numerical interest rate than the current all-in-one is at today. Because in this loan, it doesn't always matter that your interest rate is higher. What matters is what you're earning and how much you're spending on a monthly basis, and honestly, even when you're spending your money. So we're gonna go through this. We're just gonna say that this family bought a home for $400,000 back in 2020. Let's say now that this home is worth about $500,000. And let's say when they bought that home back in 2020, they had about a $350,000 loan balance. But since they've paid it down, let's just say that they're at about a $325,000 balance. Again, we're going to compare this to a 30-year mortgage. And we're going to say that this family got into an interest rate, a smoking interest rate at 2.75. And we'll say that they got this loan about 55 months ago. Again, we're going to do the same exact dollars as we did in the other simulation. And so we're going to say that this family makes about $5,500 on a bi-weekly basis. And over the course of that time, again, let's assume that this family has accumulated about $25,000 in their checking and savings account for just rainy day funds. Now we're going to be on the spending screen. So as we get into the spending screen, we're just going to be saying, hey, how much money do you guys retain at the end of any given month? And we're just going to put in here that this family is retaining about 20% of their income on a monthly basis. Obviously, if this family decided that, hey, I have a couple extra bucks in this available line of credit and I want to pay off a vehicle, they can come down here to this future one-time expense. They can click this and say, I want to pay off this vehicle of, let's say, $40,000 right when the loan closes. And now we can actually indicate that because they're paying off this $40,000 vehicle, and let's say that that is a $700 a month payment on their vehicle, well, putting it into the all-in-one would reduce that interest expense on that vehicle as opposed to having a $700 expense. That $40,000 in the all-in-one on today's numbers would be 40,000 times today in February of 2025 at a 3.5% margin. Their interest rate is 7.824. Dividing this by 12 gives them their monthly expense of $260. So if we said 700 minus 260, that would be what they have extra in their pocket on a monthly basis. And again, you can do that in this simulation if you want to walk through that. We're going to remove this information and we're just going to do this a very basic simulation. Perfect. So in this example, again, we're running this at an interest rate that is about 0.5% higher than where most people pick their margin option. And if we come down here and change this to a 3.5% margin and we come back to the results, we can look at this and say, okay, does this or does this not make sense for my family at this moment to get into this product? Now, yes, you are saving a little bit of money in interest. There are obviously closing costs on this product. Let's just say that that's a net zero. You don't have any funds saved, but you do end up paying your home off at an accelerated rate at about twice as fast, a little over 3 times as fast. And the value of having this product in this scenario is really going to be based off of, well, what do we have coming in the next several months or years to our income? Is there an expense that's falling off? if they were to pay off that vehicle, or if they were going to be having a vehicle paid off in the next 4 or 5 months, that would certainly change this scenario. And again, depending on your specific scenario, whether or not it does or doesn't make sense is going to be really an understanding of where you are, what's happening in the next couple of years, and realistically how long you plan on living in this home for. If you intend on selling this home in 2 or 3 years, perhaps it doesn't make sense to get out of your current interest rate and jump into this all-in-one product. It may make sense once you sell this home and buy your next home to purchase the home with this product. And again, we can walk through all of the breakdowns on all of this, but realistically, depending on this person's scenario, if they are going to be getting a raise and that changes their income in a year, well, we can change that in the simulation and add that income in and get a breakdown on where they're going to end up being. And again, if this product makes sense. Now, if this is a forever home, it's possible that this still ends up making sense to do this product because income over time is going to increase as we've been seeing this interest rate over the last few months trickling downwards. It's also possible that this makes sense. And lastly, if this family decided, hey, let's buy our margin down all the way to the 2.5% margin, then you can start saying, well, we used to have $8,000 in savings and now we have $30,000 in savings. Is that enough money for it to be considered worthwhile for us to pay this off? If you're expecting a large bonus, perhaps at the end of the year, that's not calculated in the simulation. All of that's going to realistically determine if or if not, if this product does not make sense to jump into. Thank you guys so much for checking out this video. Feel free to use the links in the description. Feel free to schedule a call with us if you want to learn more about this specific scenario. And if you want to just run through certain scenarios on why or if this product does make sense for you guys. Thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of your day.